Good evening, and welcome to We All Gon' Die Wednesday. Right now, we've got war overseas, rising gas prices, layoffs starting to hit, and a storm system big enough to knock out power to millions. And if you're waiting for one big moment, one event that changes everything, you're missing it. Because this is how it actually happens. Not with a bang, but with pressure. And right now, that pressure is building. Welcome to We All Gon' Die Wednesday. Livingston Man, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Livingston, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hey Alexa, you know what day it is? It's We All Gon' Die! We all gon' die! We all gon' die! It's a We All Gon' Die Wednesday!
Boom. We All Gon' Die Wednesday. James, Anthony Crouch, Bad Blobbler, Loretta, Prepping Artist, MS, Gulf Coast, Cajun Prepper, Prepper for Life, Search for Facts, Watchdog, Tuck by V, L Dog, Kathy Williams, Michelle PW, Loretta from the Ashes Homestead, TT1, Wisconsin Farm Boy, Dana Let's Prep, Yankee Watchdog, what's up? Brooklyn Girl Maggie, good to see you. Thank y'all for being here for this We All Gon' Die Wednesday. What's next? Good to see you. Trisha, good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. Eric says volume 5x4. Adjust your bell tones, Mr. Eric. It looks like I'm tweaking out here. So I think it's good. What say y'all? Let me know in the chat what we're doing here, how we're sounding. Johnny Highwood says $5.19 for diesel price here in the Hudson Valley today. 2 5-gallon jugs, $51. 3 weeks ago was $35. Youch. Johnny Highwoods, thank you. Appreciate it. Wisconsin Farm Boy, appreciate it. You have 59 minutes to reach minimum safe distance. The Livingston Man will self-destruct after this broadcast. Sound okay? Yeah. The sound engineer says it's good. Rural Report, good to see you, brother. Teriyaki, welcome. Who else we got? TDDR, hello all from Tennessee. Good evening. Hope all is well. Half-ass ready. What's good, my brother? STP, listening. I don't think YouTube wants me chatting. Yeah. Crudel, good to see you. I hope I said that right. Koodle? R. Koodle? Maybe.
R. Koodle.
Is it right? Is that right? I hope so. I hope I didn't butcher it. Welcome.
I bet you it is.
Eric says diesel, $4.99 North Carolina. What's the gas price where y'all are at right now? Let us know in the chat how you're doing. Dirt Farmer says $3.69 mid-Michigan. $3.10 for gas in Texas. Y'all make it there. So it's $3.75, $3.11 for diesel. TT1, $3.35 says the Wisconsin Farm Boy. $3.39 Western North Carolina. $3.69. Yeah. $3.59 in Georgia. $3.59 NYC. $3.79 in Northeast Ohio. Sorry, Ed. Man. $3.75 in Tampa.
That's fake news.
$4 a gallon.
That's fake
in
news.
Orlando.
That's AI.
$3.99 Red Rock Ready.
Fake.
Damn, bro. Listen. 78 and change for a full tank in Brewster on Monday. Golly. The earlier you gas up your vehicle, the more money you're saving in the next week, right? So if you can afford it.
Your means to get to work shouldn't have to be thought of as like a fucking investment opportunity. You shouldn't have to think weeks ahead. Fill at the pump, when you're standing there, you should not have to consider geopolitical ramifications and all this. Come on, man. What?
I had a memory pop up in my my Facebook thing, you know. It was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, gas was $4.39 a gallon. 5 years ago. So that would be right after Sleepy Joe got inaugurated. So we're still doing better than then, but listen, man, it should look like this on the chart. It goes like this.
The whole thing is run, not only the oil prices, gas prices, whatever, but the stock market and the S&Ps and all this, it's all run like some, like just gambling house. It's just casino mentality, odds on everything. You can bet against it. It's just a sham. And that's what our economy runs on, is essentially, when you think about it. It's just a casino.
STP, 14 miles to the gallon. Youch. Hey, what we talked about on the Horseman, maximize those trips right now, right? If you're going to town, make sure you're going to town and hitting everything in town. Scott Hummer says, hello, Mike. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, and the Livingston man just finished working DoorDash. I hope you're charging more because of the gas prices, Scott, because
for real,
it's crazy out here. Absolutely crazy. Maccabeus, good to see you, brother. Hope all is well with you and yours. This We All Gonna Die Wednesday. What's next, Livingston man? This is how it starts. Right, the problems are starting to overlap one another.
The cracks in some sort of foundation here.
Well, as they're laying on top of one another, that pressure is really building on the ones on the bottom, and I kind of feel like we're the ones on the bottom, right? And
Rightfully so.
That pressure is just going to blow everything out the sides here. That pressure is us. We're the ones getting squeezed financially, morally. Via government, via everything, bro. You're either here or there. I see it in the chats. I see it in the comments. I see it online. I see it in Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Division.
Thriving off it. You have to. Somebody's got to be right. Somebody's got to win. We have devolved in especially our social media discourse to the level of like school children calling each other names, essentially. Like, just boil it down long enough and somebody's going to get called a slur or fat or something, and everybody loses sight of what are you even fighting about again. You don't even remember. You got to scroll up to remember what the hell you were even arguing with this stranger about. As if either of you was going to prove your point or change somebody's mind. You got to be smarter than that. Like, don't take the bait with stuff like that. Also, though, do have meaningful discourse with people,
the important part.
With people who, quote unquote, disagree with you.
If you can't agree to disagree, don't argue with them.
Have you ever tried to understand someone else, or did you simply expect them to understand you?
Yeah. Well, that's hard. I always try to take in all sides and then go at it with a little bit of logic and reason and a whole lot of morality, right? Because we're human and shit happens and shit sucks. But sometimes you got to just be a dickhead, make your point, and hopefully that point gets through to the person who triggered that in you, right? And in a lot of cases, when I lash out at somebody, that's my hope, is that it hits home and that they see the error in their ways and what they're doing, and then they can correct it. Otherwise, there's nothing productive that comes out of that. It's just, and you don't even feel better, and you feel like an asshole, and no good comes from it. Somebody's mad at you, and you're mad at them, and hopefully it's constructive assholism, right? You can put that one in your new dictionary. Constructive assholism.
Or another thing, and this applies mostly to like political ads, but even our own, again, discourses, instead of like saying so much about how like the other guy is so bad, like start telling us all about how like
good somebody else is.
Right.
Yeah.
Or yourself, especially politicians. I want to hear about what you're going to do for me, not the nonsense you're making up about the other guy.
Yeah.
At least everything's a hit piece. Everything's a gotcha. Everything's a mic drop moment. It's like chill with all that. We don't have to be so abrasive.
You can lift each other up and all come up together, or you be the guy drilling the holes in the boats. You know, we ain't got room for that shit, and we ain't got time for it. Obviously, the world's a little crazy.
And
things are volatile.
Sure, like I'm saying, everybody just kind of open up your hearts and minds to like stuff, because we are all in this together. When Mike talked about those of us at the bottom, that is a huge group. Is the biggest group is us bottom people. As a matter of fact, without us, the world don't work right. So. You can try to hope that like the Illuminati or whoever they are running this new world order thing are smart enough to realize that if they completely abuse and alienate us, that society will stop. But then you start to wonder like what sort of third generation incompetent fucking punk ass spoiled children are now the Illuminati running the show that don't know how to do it. And this is what you see now is sort of this inept, incompetent, just everybody go hog wild on the world scene because the time is now. And they're clearly also trying to profit a lot fast. And I guess they intend to take all the money to hell with them. Because they're not really interested in leaving any crumbs behind for anybody.
No, they're taking it all. They're taking it all.
Though they will not just outright just commit us, like they ain't going to send us to Ohio on trucks en masse yet, but they will continually push you to start to believe that like maybe going to Ohio on a truck's a good idea. You got to watch out for this. Like there is a mass thing coming. An awakening there has to be, and I am disappointed.
Please,
I'm disappointed, but not surprised that the awakening that I speak of hasn't happened sooner. But it's encouraging to see just normal people, being like, I'm starting to think that they don't really have our best interests at mind.
Jason M. Schmidt, I see you, brother. He says, I don't try to win the arguments. I try to make them question their ivory tower beliefs.
It's a delicate thing to try to do that too, because you kind of gotta finesse your way through his approach there, because people
are weird.
If you just come right out the gate and ask them, have you ever even heard yourself talk? Of course they have. And now because they feel attacked, they'll simply harden their defenses and you won't get through to them. What I try to do is, even if I don't care, is make them explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Like
make me understand what you're talking about here.
Which is my ultimate goal regardless, but I will use that sarcastically sometimes.
Yeah, I did see a question in the chat earlier that flew by. Y'all are hamming it up in there. Let's see. Craig the Hunter, I see you. Anti-FU YouTube. See you, brother. The Prepping Artist, good evening. Revelation 6-2, good evening. Just want to say hello to everybody as you pop in. KP Heathen in the house, good to see you. Anthony Crouch is here. What's good? Thank y'all for stopping in. Ferocious? How do you say that name, Livingston, man? He's my English teacher.
Fuxorus?
Yeah,
I mean, that's to be the transliteration of it. Like, just pronounce every letter like a white person.
Yardbird says, the Livingston man making child psychology great again. DB Cooper, good evening. Thank you for stopping in. It feels like the whole thing's unraveling to me. People don't believe in the system anymore, but they're still going along with it. Like everybody sees that.
Because there's no alternative. what is the thing? We're so ingrained. The system is so ingrained and so like too big to fail, proverbially, that like
it props itself up even in its own death.
You can disagree with it, you can hate it, you can, but what else is there? You know, and it takes a real.
You know what else there is? Just stop. Just stop.
It's easy to say.
How long we've been preaching this, Livingston, man? Years. Just stop. Stop participating. Just go home. Just go home and stay there until things change. And if enough of us do that, that change will come, and it'll come fast, really, really fast.
No,
as soon as the cogs in the wheel fall apart.
You had me at stay home. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't participate in. We can't participate in it anymore. If you really feel that everything is that off track and that far gone, it's a last ditch effort, honestly. But they would never allow us to spread that word far enough for it to have any meaningful impact, right?
Stay home, man.
This video will get like 200 views tops.
Because in doing so, you bring the
system to its knees, where it's supposed to be, working for the people.
But you bring, and what people would be afraid of is that you now have the front, so to speak, is your own home.
It's everybody's home. That's 32 million homes. You know, if you took 32 million people out of the workforce tomorrow,
now this
whole shit stops.
This has worked every time it's been tried. Not just in the secessio plebis of the Roman Republic early on. We're talking BC here. They would do this. The common folks would just be like, you know what, we going camping and fuck y'all then. You know so much, do it yourself. And that worked every single time it was tried. But nonviolent protest, here's one where you're not even leaving your house.
Go home, ignore everything, right?
You're not even leaving your house.
Everybody's going to call you and ask you why you're not coming in, why you ain't been to work, what's going on. Right, because some people are going to stay there till they get the point, till you're the only one there, manning the watch.
Now there's people all the way up to the 1960s and beyond where it's still, again, actually doing nothing was the protest. It has to now this entire the whole do nothing has to be organized, or it has to have a snowball effect. It has to start somewhere, get noticed, and that's going to be the hard part. As Mike pointed out, they're not just going to be like, look at all these people bringing it to its knees. Go ahead. Then there'll be the threats and the tough talk and maybe some bullying.
Where have we seen this before, Livingston, man? Pretty recently,
Their patience is wearing thin, sort of thing.
I'll give you free dinner for a week if you stop and get a hamburger or fries.
Get a free donut. Yeah. And they'll pull that card again, but the goal is you got to just stay on it. To do this, save up money. If you're a renter or something like this, pay your bills ahead of time. Be like, don't tell them what you're going to intend to do. Be like, hey, can you mind if I just listen, I got it like that. Let me put 3 months down.
Livingston, man, I overheard in the post office, the lady behind the counter and one of the elderly ladies who was mailing out a package somewhere. And they were discussing the state of the nation and what they could do, right? How can we do this? She said, I've been talking to some people, and we've thought about putting our taxes on a credit card. We're going to pay our taxes on this credit card, and as soon as I pay them, I'm going to file bankruptcy, and then they'll get nothing, and it's legal, and they can't come after me for it, but I can stick it to them twice. That is the mindset of the older generations.
Now,
they don't have very many cards left to play because they're not in the workforce. Even if they pulled out.
The ruling class loves to play that game, but when you do it, it's a big problem. Remember when they ran a train on the GameStop stock, and all of a sudden you can't do that. But when it's oil or Raytheon or, somebody cool like that, it's different. But when the people start playing the game the way they do, they're like, that's cheating.
Yep.
And I've always said this, and I'll never back down from it until it changes. We're all, if you're not members of the
haves,
Epstein,
you're a have-not.
Exactly. And what you are is...
cannon fodder.
You're playing a rigged game against cheaters.
But as you said, what alternative is there? How do you get outside of the system and still survive in a system that, well, we all depend on? We've proven that your right to life, if you can afford it, in every state, the cost is a little bit different.
They have
In
like
some
numbers
states,
for it.
it's astronomical. Astronomical. And where's it go? Is this the layers are stacking and they're stacking and they're stacking? Foundation was already unsteady to begin with, right? They have extorted and loopholed the Constitution to kingdom come. It looks like fucking Swiss cheese. You can barely remember the words that were there that were missing, right?
The words that come to mind are a republic, if you can keep it.
Well, that's gone. We know it's gone, right?
I don't think we were
They
able to
scream
keep
democracy here now because that's what they believe we have. No longer a constitutional republic. We're an oligarchy run by the rich elite.
So if you're ever lost in the woods, all you got to do is just say, like, loud enough for it to be heard, America is a democracy, and some like dude will parachute out of the nearest tree and tell you that it's a constitutional republic.
Yeah.
It works. Try it.
Used to be. Scott Hummer, thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate it.
It has the illusion of being what it's supposed to be. Like they have the pomp and circumstance of it all, but it's just not. It's people like wearing the.
That's
how can I
awesome
put this?
stat right there.
How can I put this? It's like baseball players, but they're wearing basketball uniforms, and they're playing basketball, but they're telling you it's baseball. Like this, what
It's just lies.
It's
All
a
the time.
big club, and we ain't in it.
No, that dude was so ahead of his time, it wasn't even funny. You talk about somebody who saw the writing on the wall.
Well, it's kind of always been. Even the founding fathers, I mean, let's not get into deep history dives here, but there's always that muddy gray area that nobody wants to go, and that's why everybody's so polarized about everything. Like, you're my guy good, your guy bad, that. And
TMT, good to see you. Chief Dog, yeah, George Carlin. He was way ahead of his time.
we came here tonight.
Jason Schmidt says the top 10% own 93. Can you scroll that back up for me for just a second? The chat is flying by tonight.
Like a freaking gas pump.
Yeah. Right there. The top 10% own 93% of the stock market. The next 40% own 7%. The rest owe debt. The Wall Street movie was true. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. And this is the lifting of the veil.
This delusional
This is the
system that
lifting
they
of the
have
veil.
built means that they can make money that doesn't exist from people who don't have any money, and yet they make money. If that doesn't scream, like, that's if life was a video game, I'd be like, these motherfuckers is cheating. They hacking, modding, they up there. We need to get Punk Buster in here because these motherfuckers is cheating the whole session, bro.
Yeah.
That's what this is. It's pure grift. It's corruption, legalized, legislated.
Yeah.
It is
And it
the
doesn't
system.
stop. It doesn't stop. It's a fucking meat grinder. Just slowly grinding you up. The electric bills rising, the gas prices rise. You thought you couldn't afford shit before? Fuck, forget about it.
Dan Rose, you got refreshed, dog. We talked about that GameStop. And there was
Yeah.
2 sets of rules. There was 2 sets of rules there. And that's
Sunset, good to see you.
the thing about, I guess, I'm going to call it American society at this point, because even Europe is like, going crazy right now. There is, in your face, blatantly, without apology, without empathy, without a second thought, a 2-tiered system in this country.
Maybe even 3 or 4.
There are rules for you, and then there are, let's call it 3. There's rules for you, there's other rules for other people, and then for some of them, there are no rules. Let's go 4.
DB Cooper says
They write-
$100,000 for a new GMC pickup truck. Come on, man.
They write the rules to favor themselves. This is the only reason anybody gets into politics anymore. To further a business venture, their own family dynasty, or their own personal enrichment. There's no other reason that anybody gets into politics anymore. The reason that you should get into politics is to do civic service, to enact common sense legislation that benefits your community, your state, your county, your country, your whatever. But nobody's doing that. Everybody wants in so they can be a quick celebrity for 2 hours, for fucking 4 years, whatever. They can write the book deal, make the millions, go out of celebrity, and it's that easy. There is never is there talk about credentials. Are you actually fit to do this job?
Are you qualified? I think not.
You know, as the great Charlie Kirk said, but I'm going to change his quote a little bit. When I look at the House of Representatives and the Senate, I think, man, I hope they're qualified. Because they're often elected because of not
corporate
their ability to do the
lobbyists.
job. And it's
Corporate lobbyists.
It's DEI. The very people who hate the idea of DEI, but it's what it is. They're popular, not competent.
Yep. Or they have a recognizable name. Many people have changed their name before getting into politics. Y'all remember the New York City Mayor Bill...
J.D. Vance?
No, Bill de Blasio. His real name is Warren Wilhelm Jr., or was, but that wasn't sellable enough to the public, so he changed his name to Bill de Blasio. They spend millions of dollars just studying what name sounds the best, you know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm nearly
Nuts,
certain
dude.
that J.D. Vance also changed his name.
Probably. A lot of these people
It's a
do.
thing. Unlike myself, I was actually born named Livingston, man.
Assembled in a Russian factory.
Yeah, and then they named me in English and all that.
William K. is good to see you.
But this is the thing. It is about branding. It is about winning. It is about
Commercialism, consumerism, profit over people every single time, and you can take that to the bank 100%. Listen, I have said enough tonight. Now I want to hear from you. 1-866-HV-PREP-1. I don't think I'm connected yet,
you're not.
but I
we need to see
will
a
be.
blue light there. Don't call.
Shortly.
Hello, Moto. He's got the blue light. He's in there.
1-866-HV-PREP-1. Why we all gonna die Wednesday? Let me hear it. That is the question of the night. Looking forward to your call and your answer, and the community wants to hear from you. Rhonda says the Great Reset
We
is
got a caller
in
instantly.
progress.
Incoming call from your 800.com account. Press 1 to accept or 2 to hang up or send.
Good evening. Thank you for calling the Hudson Valley Hotline. What's your name? Where are you calling from, caller?
Mike from Minnesota.
Mike from Minnesota. What's happening, my friend? How are you?
Jak się masz? Dobrze. Daj mi zimne piwo, kurwa masz. That's Livingston, man. I'm 1/3 Polish.
You sounded like you were like from the far north of Minnesota. I'm like, damn, he's in like Russia at this point. Like,
Drożboski, no.
it's
So
true.
anyways, I wanted to talk about on the political thing. If you're going to run for president, they should have a law where you actually have to go to school, because I've seen so much of this, you know, with Orange Man, Biden, blah blah blah, to learn how to be somebody who can deal with foreign studies, you know, diplomatic skills. They have no I'm going to do this. You know,
Absolutely.
just blurt some bullshit out, and then surround yourself with none but yes men. I mean, everybody else on his staff should be fired.
Yeah.
You have people, and you got to have somebody in the office. Maybe you got to see a psychiatrist where you can even go on the vote train. You can't be a sociopath narcissist where, all the people, you don't want to hear anything that you need to hear. That's where we're screwing up. People, it's like, tell me what I want to hear, what I'm thinking. Don't tell me what I need to hear.
Exactly.
And
it's a big thing when you get yourself
You
surrounded
got to
with
have
yes men.
diplomatic skills. I mean, talking about shit all the time. Everything, it's a deal. It's a deal. No, this is a fucking international trade relation, not a deal. We're not talking about punks in the alley swapping dope and this and that. No, it's not. It's a. Oh my God.
We got you fired up tonight, Mike. I'm sorry.
I'll be 66 next month. And, what was I, 9 years old when they landed on the moon, black and white TV? I've seen all of this.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, Grand Funk Railroad, that was the first rock band I ever saw.
That's awesome.
It's an American band right there.
I don't know if you... Yeah. Mark Farner, baby. Yeah. And so... But these people, you go back to other administrations, say Kennedy, Nixon, so on and so forth. These people they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were talking about. Okay? Not today.
I think we're looking for like a Harvard educated, somebody of extreme higher learning, somebody well adversed in foreign politics and religion, right? I think that's a big thing too, because we're seeing now how much religion factors into a lot of things on the global stage. So, Mike from Minnesota, I think you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for calling and venting tonight, brother. Thank you for calling and venting, Mike from Minnesota. We appreciate you.
I'm not even getting started. my soapbox is in the shop. I put my foot through it.
Well, hey, we welcome you every single Wednesday. I would like to open the phone lines up to a couple other callers, but I'm going to let you rip for a couple more minutes, Mike. Go, have at it.
Honest to goodness. But that's what I'm saying as far as having, international skills. You look at Putin, okay? I respect him for how he could speak. This guy knows all the nuances, everything. You don't see him bust out and he just sits there, listens, and he's a true diplomat.
Yeah.
And that's what we need today.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if it's a Republican, Democrat, but we need somebody with true diplomatic skills.
Absolutely.
It's just not somebody who I'll listen to whatever the president says. I want to keep my job because I'm getting $90,000 a year.
Yep.
And if the country burns, I don't care.
I'm profiting anyway.
Me.
Yeah, I think you were right on the money with some sort of schooling. You look at Putin; he was KGB, right, and so was his father. So
right.
he grew up in the Russian heritage and knew a lot of the stuff before he ever got into the politics end of it. So there's that bodes well for these people. XMYC Prepper says Putin is a murderer. He will rot in hell. It may be the case. You could say the same thing about just about any American president who's dropped a bomb on somebody, right? I mean, it is what it is. I am not the person that they have to talk to when their ride is over. So I'm not going to judge them. They'll be judged at some point.
Not for me to do. History is the ultimate judge. We'll see what history has to say about this era. I said once that historians are going to just leave this era out.
Yeah, like the Dark Ages all over again.
Well, they're going to write it down.
The new Dark Ages.
They're going to write it down. They're going to read it, and they're going to be like, nobody's going to believe this shit.
It's true. Mike from Minnesota, I think you hit the nail on the head tonight, my friend.
All right, I didn't mean to get too wild.
Hey.
I can get worked up sometimes.
Let her go, man. Let her go. That's what we're here for. We are not afraid of the YouTube. What are they going to do? They're going to take my $3.62 away from me. It's okay. No big deal.
I appreciate you speaking the Polish. Now, for those of you that don't know, basically the Polish language sounds like a diesel engine that won't start. Just a lot of it's like CDJK. They put that like, can I buy a vowel? They're like, no vowel in Poland.
You're not wrong.
It's like the Ohio of Europe.
You ever hear of? You familiar with East Prussia?
Well, it's Poland.
Yeah, my
like
my
Pomerania,
grandma
Silesia,
on her
that sort of
side,
place.
her great grandparents came from East Prussia.
Must be a Schlesinger.
Spoke Kashub.
Or Kosciuszko, that's spelled with like a KDZDDDZO. Yeah, with a dots over it. Yeah.
Grandpa's family came from Czech Republic, but it was called Sudetenland.
Okay.
That's where my on mom grandpa's side when they came over on the boat when it's still at sales.
Wow.
So, I'm a Sikorsky. And we I don't know, we came here in like 1914, did the whole Ellis Island thing. That's all I really know of it. After that, I'm an American. I got no ties to the old country. I don't know nobody over there. I couldn't speak the language. My mouth is an American mouth. I can't go all day. Can I buy a vowel, please?
Mike from Minnesota, I got a great question in the chat. Dana Let's Prep says, should our commander-in-chief have a requirement of having served in some branch or auxiliary, some branch of the military or an auxiliary?
You know, that used to be
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not required.
I think so, to have an idea of how military life is, what they do, how things operate.
Yeah.
Even the princes of England served in the armed forces.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a great.
When people make proclamations, a lot of people's lives are on the line.
Yeah.
And you just say, well, we're going to go in here and do this. You got no game plan, especially you got no exit plan. If you ain't got an exit plan, why the hell are you going in? Because if you got to bug out, which happens a lot of times, well, you got to know how you're going to bug out. You don't just throw people off the back of a, C-130 and they jump in the jungle and you never hear from them again. I mean,
yeah, it's true.
Honest to goodness.
Yeah, if you're going to start something, you better have a couple different plans to end it, because it might not. Well, we all know as soon as you implement a plan, it all goes to shit. Then you have to re-strategize as you get going. So that's par for the course. You're going to see that everywhere you go.
What the system you guys are actually advocating for sounds a lot like federalism, which was a thing, but actually has really no modern equivalent now.
Right.
Where the Federalists thought that exactly what you guys are saying, that like politicians and the common people, just because like everyone likes you doesn't mean you're qualified to like be a diplomat or a president or a politician. They thought that this should come from a sort of caste of
people who were brought up to deal with these
issues. To do
issues.
this, right. Yeah.
Much like Japan, when you're born in Japan, you will grow up and be a baseball player. Right?
Well, the case in point, my namesake, the Livingstons, were staunch Federalists. These people's families and the folks they surrounded them with were kind of what you're describing, bred for this.
Right, but they were trained more. They weren't the popular people of today. They were the popular people of yesterday who were dignified, who knew all of these people already.
Were educated from like a young age to like this was,
to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that system just simply doesn't exist in America now. Education, what was that? We don't need education. You just need to know how to play a PlayStation.
It's true.
Fly drones with PlayStation. Fucking, it's gonna be okay.
Mike from Minnesota, I want to thank you so much for
I just want to say one more thing, and I'll hang up.
You got one more thing, buddy.
Tucker Carlson was interviewing the Secretary of State. He didn't even know how many people, lived in Iran, what the religion, it's these little nuances that mean everything. You know a person's, their culture. Because when you know their culture, their religion, then you get into their mind when you're talking to them, how this meeting is going to work out, this, that, or the other. Because whether we like, trying to shove democracy like a big swans down everyone's throat, you got people that their culture is not democratic. It is what it is. And you're not going to get into their country other than by force if you ever want to make any kind of agreement with them, because you'll never be on the same page. And we have to accept that. We have to respect other people's, look, this is what they do. It's their country. They don't jump down our throat about America having more people in prison than anyone else in the world. And we're telling other people about human rights. Are you kidding? Live in a ghetto and be of a different color and see how you get treated by cops a lot of times. I'm just saying. So we have nothing to say when it comes to nonsense like that. It's their country. It's their business. Period.
Very true.
And then you got all the Hasbara. I'm learning, watching all these sites, Jewish words. It means propaganda or bullshit.
Yep.
And telling American people, Trump just said the other day, I almost fell out of my chair, they're chopping women in half with knives and cutting the heads off of babies. I'm like, you got to be retarded to even believe that. I mean, it's just
the propaganda runs deep.
What's America? America's about, we're not even 300 years old yet.
We're not going to make it either.
Persia is like 8,000 years old. Their history.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? Abraham and Sarah, they came from Iraq, which was called Babylon back in the day. Okay. Before Israel was even Israel.
Yep.
And I mean, like almost all the prophets, they came out of the Levant, out of Syria and Iraq.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And you ask one of these people that are like the head of the State Department, he wouldn't even know. He would look at you like a deer in the headlights or whatever. Like, oh, really?
This is exactly what I mean. It's not malice on the part of these people. They're not like it's almost like they're not that smart to have this evil, sinister agenda. What it is just gross incompetence. It's people elected and hired to do jobs that they have absolutely no qualifications to do.
True story.
And are put on the spot and told to deliver progress and results now. And and that's what happens. And you get some old that.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just like your government officials now painting their way out of corners.
Good luck to them. Let it all crumble around them.
I
Mike
got a
from
line.
Minnesota, thank you. Thank you so
All
much
right,
for calling.
I'll talk to you next week then.
Yes, sir. You have a great week, Mike. Stay safe and keep your head on a swivel, partner. Good. Thank you so much for calling, Mike.
All right, thanks.
Mike from Minnesota, everybody. Talked our ears off tonight.
He spoke for a good, long enough for the screensaver to kick on almost exactly.
Yeah,
so that was perfect.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Scott Hummer says this is our 250. Yes, sir.
I think
yes,
that
sir.
With no disrespect, I love to hear from Mike, but I think that what we should do in the interest of a constitutional republic in terms of the phone line is we'll get a timer in the background. You got 5 minutes.
Oh.
You got 5 minutes.
Well, Livingston Man's putting something else on my Amazon to purchase list tonight. I sense it.
I got a budget, boss. There's things I need to do this job.
I sense it. Rob Dobert says, should I call in? 1-866-HV-PREP.
A lot of good
One
points.
is the Hudson Valley hotline. Rob always brings a good point to the chat.
There is a simmering undercurrent of frustration with the current trajectory that American foreign policy especially is taking, and the consequences that said foreign policy is having on domestic prices specifically, but domestic attitude and morale. People are feeling like they're not listened to, like that their voice ain't heard, and if that the people think that their elected officials
Incoming
will turn
call
the
from
lights
your
off and shut the
800.com
blinds.
account. Press
Sorry,
1 to
Livingston. I
accept
didn't mean
or
for that
2
to
to
talk
hang
over.
up or send the call to voicemail.
So we don't have any women on the show. She talks too fucking much already.
Good evening. Thank you for calling the Hudson Valley Hotline. What's your name? Where are you calling from, caller?
Rob from Florida.
Florida, Rob.
Florida man.
What's good, my brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for calling in tonight.
Always, guys, always. I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, missed you too.
No, I
We
wanna-
didn't do a show last week.
Yeah,
You
we
didn't
weren't
miss us.
on last week. Mr. Zero, thank you for stopping
I
in,
know.
sir.
Happy birthday. Happy late birthday to Lou's family.
Thank you, thank
Love
you.
y'all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Appreciate you.
So
What's up?
there was a couple of things that I didn't get to address the last time that we talked because we kind of went off on a tangent. Not really a tangent, but we talked about a lot of things. And one of the things was, you know, I travel for work and stuff like that. And, you know, my question to you guys is, what's the next move for preppers who have to travel? Obviously, we have to take all of our gear and everything with us. But when it comes to travel, what would be your advice to those who have to travel for work?
Okay.
Alternate comms. That's a big one. Alternate
Dude
comms.
said get a bike.
Yeah, Yardbirds. Well, hey, it's not bad advice, right? I mean, if you can't get gas and you need to get home, it's going to be a lot quicker and less strenuous if you're on a bicycle, for sure. Especially if it's just you and a get home bag, right? And you got enough supplies in there to get you your distance home. I get one question I have to ask is what kind of distance are you traveling? What's you know, are we talking hours or are we talking like half a day?
For what? For like if I have to I have to travel for work?
Correct. Yeah. Are we talking like a 4 to 6 hour travel, or are we talking like an hour or less, or hour to hour and a half?
It would be, I mean, to move, I would have to, you know, hire a company to move, and it would be 4 to 6 hours minimum, potentially, and it could be more, even depending on where I end up. You know, that's the thing is part of the job is being a traveling person of my status. I'm not going to label myself with any names or anything like that to give my cover away, but
Yeah. When picking up shop and moving
it's in the job line.
That's one of the most stressful things you can do in life. I think the best advice on this topic is going to come from the roaming prepper. In all honesty,
He's the guy to talk. He's puts the out in bug out.
yeah, and he's had to, because of his job, he's had to pick up and move quite a few times. So honestly, I think he would have some good advice for you as far as that is concerned. But that's a tough one, man, because you've got to, you know, I know that you're the type of person who likes to have a garden and things like that, and that's really tough to do when you're on the move like this. Man.
Well, I actually got it figured out.
Yeah.
I typically end up on projects for about a year and a half, give or take. Sometimes take, sometimes give. Unfortunately, this one was a take, and I'm moving sooner than I'd like. I was supposed to be here for 3 years and turned into a year and 6 months real quick. So, but what we actually did is what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to start planning a garden, given, you know, depending on the time frame and where I'm at and when I'm there. And obviously, you know, the climate is different everywhere you go, and depending on where you're at I know North Carolina is different for planting than Georgia, and different than New York, or different than Tennessee, and different than Florida. So the different planting times are things to take into consideration when you're planting gardens, obviously. But what I've started doing is I've actually started planting gardens at the office trailer where we are on site, and honing in an area where I can plant vegetables for not only my own personal consumption, but also for others as well, as kind of like and not like a free market kind of thing, but just like, hey, this is fresh produce kind of thing. And it definitely, I saw a different respect from the guys that I work with that I've never seen on any other project, because we offered them fresh produce, and they've never had that. I mean, I had fresh jalapenos, fresh tomatoes, fresh eggplant, fresh cucumbers, fresh squash, and they had never seen a superintendent. Sorry, I gave my life away on that one. They had never seen anyone give as much as I did, and in turn, I gained not only their respect but their gratitude as well. And a little giving goes a long way when it comes to certain things like that. And I think we can take that. I mean, yes, prepping is important, but I feel like if you're going to prep, you're going to over prep. If you're a real true prepper, you're going to over prep, but you can't have it all. You can't use it all.
Correct.
So, and you can't store it all. So the biggest, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not new to this, but I'm new-ish to this.
Right.
I would say that building a community around yourself in your area is probably the most important thing. And being close to your neighbors and knowing what they bring to the table and knowing what they can do for you, but what also you can bring to the table to help them, is probably one of the most important things when it comes to any kind of preparedness or survival. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think that's one of the tiers. You want a good community around you, and you want to know who the helpers are. 100%, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do it. It's like these projects that I work on. I mean, they're millions of dollars, and I can't do it by myself. So I have to build relationships with all these people. In order to build relationships, you have to have the conversation. You have to have the conversation. The conversation sometimes is hard to have, but shutting down the conversation before it even starts is what a lot of people do. They're just like, nope, I don't agree with you on everything, or on this one thing, so I'm not going to talk to you.
Yep.
I'm open-minded to a certain degree.
You just don't talk about that thing is all. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's see. Dana Let's Prep has a question for Rob. As someone who moves in a few years,
how do you maintain or find a new dependable
community? That's a really good question, Dana.
I always say this, especially, and it especially works if you're a pious person, is a church. Any typical community group, like whether you're joining up with Zumba, or you're going to the church, or like the local, like the taco place, whatever. Like you're gonna find some people like that you see all the time.
Hey, Livingston, man.
I think
Hey, Livingston, man.
Yeah.
That was a question for Rob, not for you. I love you, buddy. I'm just messing with you. But no, I 100% agree. I 100% agree with everything that Lou just said, and where you were going with that point. I 100% agree. Finding a local, even if you go to, if you're not religious and you go to a local pub, a lot of the locals frequent pubs, and you can find local reinforcement just going in and having a beer and just telling your story. Hey, I'm new to the area. Can you tell me about the area? Tell me about its history. that kind of thing, and open up a conversation, open up a dialogue with someone that you've never met before in your life. Be a little bit extroverted. If you're introvert, I'm sorry, don't go to a bar. Go to church, like Lou said, and you'll be approached by people, and you'll be forced into a conversation. But I 100% agree with Lou on that, and I love you, buddy. I wasn't trying to cut you off, but yeah, you're absolutely right on that.
I kind of lost my facade
totally,
there. I just answered the question for you. I don't even know what I was thinking there. Question for Rob. It says in all fucking caps. I was like,
literally, yeah.
Can
I
I
wasn't going to say anything until you kind of
shit.
started going off, and I was like, all right, well,
Change
I
my
might need
lower
to step
third
in
to
on
say
this.
Rob. I am Rob now.
I tell you what,
No,
I really,
it's all good.
I think what you said earlier is have the conversation, right? And it's not easy. That's what people need to understand. It's not easy to have that conversation with people. It's not easy.
No.
How much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. Hi, I'm Mike. How are you?
Yeah.
There you go. You did it. Congratulations. Just come up with a quick one-liner and, get in there and say hello. Try and lighten the situation, whatever it may be. And, have a fun conversation with people that, you'd be proud to have with anybody. So
what surprises me every time is that other people are actually other people and not NPCs that are...
Yeah, real people, real lives, real families, real concerns, real questions, and sometimes they really need help. So be a helper if you can.
So I'll respond to Blackbird. And he or she, I'm sorry, I don't mean to misrepresent whoever that is, but they bring up a good point, and because I move a lot, I try to establish a community anywhere that I go. And it's something that's important to me because it's ingrained in me to establish a community no matter where I am. I need to know who I am around. I need to know my neighbors. I need to know who I can count on, who I can't count on, but also I want to know their story, because you can't really understand people unless like I was saying before, you have the conversation, just like you said, how much does a polar bear weigh?
Enough to break the ice. Yeah.
You have that opening dialogue, that opening conversation. I know I've been here for less than a year and a half, and I know every single one of my neighbors, and there's probably 25 of them. At the place that I was at in a previous spot that I was in Florida, I knew every single person on that street, and they knew me. I hosted Taco Tuesday every other Tuesday at my house, and I would open up my house to everyone on the street, and you were welcome to come eat tacos, fellowship with one another, and just have the conversation that nobody ever wants to have. Everybody's so stuck in their devices, on their phones, on their screens, that they don't want to have the conversation and just open up to one another like we used to do back in the 90s. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, I miss the 90s.
Bring them back. Bring back
For
block
that
parties.
reason.
The Roaming Prepper has entered the chat. Good evening, the Roaming Prepper. Rob was actually looking for advice earlier.
I'm sorry, what was he talking about?
Roaming Prepper.
I was on my phone.
Roaming Prepper says, we are in our ninth house, I think. Doing research before moving and after moving is a helpful exercise. So I hope that helps a little, Rob. And the Roaming Prepper, Pete, great guy, brother of ours here at Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. And if you have any questions, I'm sure he'd be happy to help you with anything.
I would love to suggest that we could actually put you in contact with him.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Pete's a good homie, and he knows people go through stuff, and you got to move. Rob, I love the Taco Tuesday idea, the block party type of atmosphere. That really helps bring a community together. And all it takes is for somebody to step up, right? And if nobody's stepping up in your community and doing that, sometimes you have to be the change you want to see.
In the absence of an example, set one.
Amen, Livingston, man. Rob, we
You're
miss you, buddy.
100% right. And I don't want to honestly, I don't want to keep more time.
Oh, no. Please. Thank you
hearing
for
the
calling.
chats and
I'm
all
with
that.
Manus. I'm like, now I want tacos, and it's kind of all I can think about.
Yeah, everybody's on the taco kick now.
It
My
seems like
mouth
it's
is
blowing
fucking
up, and I see it in the
watering right now.
chat.
My mouth is watering right now.
The Prepping Mantis says, when looking to build a community, beware of the werewolf preppers, the raiders who plan to survive by stealing from those who put in the work. The Prepping Mantis, I would like to address that comment.
Yeah, I would too. Can you use your inside voice, please?
So, honestly,
Oh,
I do not deliver tacos, by the way, for Prepper 1013.
Hang up.
So I know exactly the type of people that you're talking about, the Prepping Mantis. I've met these people, and it is a real thing. It is a real thing. There are people out there whose sole purpose in life is to tactically train as much as humanly possible, and their plan when things collapse is hit a prepper and meet as many preppers as they can and go take their stuff by force, or be the friend that stabs you in the back and takes all your stuff. That's their legit plan. They watch way too much TV, but it's real. These people really have these thoughts and ambitions. So, that being said, you will be able to identify this individual by their lack of actual preparedness. This is why it's so important to get close with the people that you are going to bring in. If you are in a mag and you've never been to their house or seen any of the cool stuff they've been prepping, it's probably just a facade, and they're really out to rob you. You have to verify everything. They tell you they got a year's worth of rice and beans. I want to see it. I don't want to take it. I'll show you my years of rice and beans, and I just want to see yours, right? That's how it goes. Because trust, but verify. Make sure that these people are who they say they are. That's a big one. Rob wants to know when the next Taco Tuesday. He's bringing the guacamole.
I'm starving at this point.
Rob, what are your
It'll be
thoughts?
mid-July.
What are your thoughts on the werewolf preppers?
So, I mean, the first thing that I would say is, in order to identify them, you have to invite them into the community, right? So
Absolutely.
you can't find out who somebody is until you actually meet them. And they might be on the outskirts, and they might be like kind of shady at first, and you can tell. Everybody has a tell. Everybody has signs of either weakness or they have signs of evil. And you can tell that from your first encounter with them. They're either here to contribute or they're here to take. And you can tell that from the very first rip. You can call it a gut feeling. You can call it a whatever it is that you want to call it to make it substantial for you. But at the end of the day, you can't have that unless you set up the meeting first. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't happen without having, like I said previously, without having the conversation first. You can't iron out the baddies from the goodies if you don't know where everybody stands from the very beginning. So if you see somebody that shows up every single week we'll just continue this talk about Taco Tuesday. If you see somebody that shows up every single Tuesday with a plate and never brings a side, that person is a taker.
Yep.
They're just there for the food.
Yep.
They don't care about anything else that went into it. They're just there for the food. Now, there are times when that person doesn't have a meal to eat, but you have to open up the dialogue and have the conversation and find out why is it that they're not bringing a side. Maybe they don't have the money. Maybe this is what they rely on every week. And you can't know that without opening up the conversation and having the conversation with those people to find out where their loyalties lie. Like, are you just relying on me for food, or is there an alternative motive?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid to have the conversation. They're afraid to even ask the question, are you hungry? You know,
Yeah.
I don't care. If you're hungry, I'll feed you.
Yep.
But I need to know I want to know what your story is. I'm not, you're not getting food for free. I want your story. I want to know who you are and where you've been. I want to know what you need to make you better in life. I want to see every single person that I come in contact with grow and prosper as much as they possibly can. And that's not a lot of people's mentalities. That's my mentality every single Wednesday, and the comments and everything, I love it. It makes me happy because I know where it came from.
Yeah. Well,
I was there.
Yeah.
So
true.
it's to me, it's seeing you guys win every single Wednesday, every single Thursday, every single Tuesday, sometimes Mondays. It's just, it's winning.
Thank you, Rob.
And I love to see it.
I really, really appreciate it. And I'm just like you. I love to see people come up, right? I want to bring everybody up with me on the way up. As I'm prepping, I hope everybody else is prepping along with me. I'm not saying you got to buy all the stuff that I buy. The affiliate links are there if you need something, right? I don't push those things on people. They're there. I have affiliates. Occasionally, I will show off a piece of gear that I'm tickled about or something like that.
The knowledge is free. It doesn't cost or weigh anything.
True. But you don't have to have all the stuff.
So,
but I just hope that everybody's been doing their thing along the way, and you're better set now than you were before you got here, right? Maybe you took something away from this that betters your preparedness. That's always my hope when we do these, is to be entertaining, educational, and hopefully help somebody out a little bit.
Maybe make you chuckle here and there.
And I agree wholeheartedly. And Lou, I didn't mean to cut you off, but one of the best quotes that, and maybe I came up with it, but it just came to my head, is when it comes to community, and I'm in construction, you can't foot your own ladder. In order to get to the top, you need someone at the bottom to help you.
Yep.
And that's not to say that you're stepping on the guy holding the ladder. That guy is your lifeline.
Yep.
You need to have someone in your life that you can count on with your life. You need to have someone to foot the ladder, not only in your preparedness, but also in your life decisions. Someone that you have close that you can count on. I didn't mean to go too deep with that, but
no, I agree.
I mean, that's my opinion.
I agree with you 100%, and I think it's also important that person check you when you're leaning a little too far, right? They say, "Hey, you better get back centered, or you're gonna topple off that ladder." It's important for them to not only be your support system, but also your checks and balances, right? And check you when you're wrong, or you're going off course, or you're taking the group down the wrong path, and or they want to understand why you're going that way, and hopefully you can better explain that to them than they knew before, right? Because sometimes things get lost in translation. In group conversation, sometimes the group doesn't meet in whole. Sometimes the group only meets in parts, and you missed a couple parts, and now you don't realize why the dues went up $25, this month. Maybe it's because we're doing something fancy. Maybe you're just ticked off about the $25. Whatever it is, But it's important to work together and be able to check each other and not take it personally, right? Just say, hey, you know what?
Exactly.
Maybe I didn't think of that. Thank you for bringing that up. It's really important to have those conversations amongst one another.
I'm not doing any of that. You're wrong. You're an asshole. Blow it out your ass. I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Tough love. Remember at the beginning of this when I complained that the AI woman talked too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, my view has completely changed now.
I'm sorry.
We need to get a woman either on the phone or something.
Well, we're going to have to call it a night here shortly, because at 9 p.m. tonight, Rural 2IC is going live with Workshop Wednesdays, and you guys should all go over and check him out. A fantastic channel, amazing gentleman. He texts me and checks on me, does bro checks I'm honored to be one of the ones who gets the bro check. Rural, I appreciate you. I see you. Thank you so much for everything you do for the preparedness community.
Rob, I always appreciate our conversations when you call in. I don't mean to sound like I don't.
No, these are very good conversations, Rob, and we really do appreciate everything you bring to Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival from the beginning to right now. We got about 5 years deep, and
Rob was here with us when we were still out in the garage yelling at Mike's cell phone, man.
Rob's original name on Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival was The Voice. That's right, not the TV show. The Florida man who hides in the back of the garage and yells.
And if I did have, I don't like to offer advice because I don't like to be the person who is like responsible for like something going wrong. But Rob, what you should do, or maybe not what you should do, but perhaps you should think about doing is creating a YouTube channel of your own to document your exploits out here, doing the things that you do.
Yeah.
And share some of your knowledge and insight with the rest of the community, like directly, instead of having to call in and try to explain it over the phone. Like you show us it in general.
And listen, if it's anonymity that you're concerned with, there are a lot of channels of people who never show their face and do extremely well. All right, so that's a big one. I think you should. Honestly, you've got a lot to offer the community. You've been involved in the community in the shadows for many, many, many years.
You know what you're talking about.
Correct. I think it'd be a benefit for everybody. I know it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of work to get used to, but these things can be as complicated or as simple as you want them to be. You can just have a conversation with the camera turned around the other direction and walk and talk. Those do really well too, and I think people would really value your opinion and your input.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, it's I do like calling in and sharing my, I guess my opinion on the matters and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I working 60+ hours a week, and
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find the time.
Doing that, and also, I have a son to raise, and it's my time with him. That's why I was actually late to the show today, because I was out playing with the neighborhood kids. Because here again, community, like the kids come out and they see me and my son just playing, and it's just him and I throwing the ball around, and then next thing you know, there's 5-10 kids, and we're playing. We're playing football
That's
now.
awesome.
It's become a regular thing to where it's, like you said before, you can be the change that you want to see in your environment if
Absolutely.
you will it. If
Yep.
you actually take the time to put in time and put in the hours to, or even minutes. I mean, it doesn't take long seeds grow in less time. That you can plant a seed in a young person's mind to where you can point them in a different direction than just sitting in front of a computer screen or sitting in front of on a phone or in a VR or anything like that. You can do so much more by just engaging with them. Like, all right, yeah, let's screw that phone. Let's go outside and play football. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I didn't invite those kids. They just showed up. All right, cool. And then next thing you know, I'm away from it, and now my son's playing with 8 new friends.
That's awesome.
I may have not built a community for myself, but I built a community for my son, and ultimately that's more important than anything that I could possibly build. Is the relationships that my son can create in such a short time, and it's hard to move so much, but it's one of those things. Like, again, it sucks to have to move away from your friends, but if he can build those memories and those moments and take that time and actually enjoy himself while he's here, he'll have that, and it'll be lasting forever.
Yeah.
So those are the things that it's unfortunate, and I hate to have to take him away from his friends, but at least we can build some memories and make some memories while we're here in this particular setting.
Yeah.
No matter where we go, I plan to do that. and reach out to as many people that are like-minded as possible, whether it be through church or, you know, through work and talking about things that we talk about here on your guys' podcast. And it's you know, the community is everything. I'll go back to that. I mean, but there's nothing that trumps it, because you can't do it. You can't do it alone.
Nope.
You can't survive by yourself. Anyone who tells you that they can survive whatever by themselves, they either have a 1,000 square foot underground bunker or they're lying.
Yep.
And I just don't believe anyone who says that they can do it on their own, because you can't. You have to have a community around you that is like-minded, that understands the assignment when the day comes, and knows what needs to take place, and knows where they fit in to your puzzle to do so. So, I mean,
that's a big one.
That's my opinion.
And I think I think that that mentality and the playfulness of the kids, you know, all showing up when they see you guys out throwing the ball around, that that's something that's extremely contagious, and something that your son will take with him to the next community, right? And I think it's going to make it a lot easier in the future for him to open up to other kids, because he's had those experiences already. And I think it's going to make it a lot easier on him. Rob, man, it was so great to hear from you tonight. Thank you so much for calling, bro. Yardbird says, you don't need your own channel. Just keep calling in. Thank you, Yardbirds.
I appreciate that, Yardbird.
Awesome to hear from you always, brother. Thank you so much for calling in. We're going to give Rob the last word tonight on We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
Oh, he certainly hasn't had enough.
The last word, the last bit of advice for everybody before we close out this We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
Well, you know, I mean, we'll just parrot the same thing that I've been saying, is community is one of the most important things, and find yourself a group of people that are like-minded, that carry the same values that you have, whether it be religious values or political values. Me personally, I wouldn't go on the political spectrum. Go based off of their actual personal values, what they hold near and dear to their heart, what they want to see in the world, and how they want to change it. Value that person based off of that, and not off of anything else. It just who that person genuinely is. You can tell a ton about a person just based off of their core values. And in my opinion, community is up there. It is right there with God and anything else. I'm sorry if you guys don't believe, but I believe, and it's right below it. You can't build something without a foundation. And if you start your foundation the right way, you'll have no problem. Any storms could knock that down. So that's where I'll leave it. And I appreciate y'all for listening to me rant for the last, I don't know how many minutes. And I apologize to the chat if I went on too long. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anybody call in while I was on. So
it's true.
I felt like I could go.
It's true. Rob, no, thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your insights, and your advice. I really do appreciate it, and I know the community does too. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all the viewers being here tonight as well. Thank you all for coming and investing your most valuable resource with us, your time. Rob, you want to hang out while we roll that beautiful bean footage?
I'm on the line. I'm here for it.
All right. Let her rip, Livingston, man. Y'all stay safe.
I was waiting for a 20-minute dissertation.
Keep your heads on a swivel. You got like 6 minutes, and then Rural 2, I see.
Run to the bathroom. If we don't end this live stream right now, I'm going to jump myself right out. I'm going to defenestrate my fucking self right out that fucking window. Ladies and gentlemen, good night, Robbie. We love you. All of you guys in the chat, we love you. Thank you for your most valuable resource, your time. Bean footage, go. Hey, Alexa, you know what day it is? It's We All Go Die! We all go We all go It's a we all go down. I said, go to the bathroom and go to Rural's channel. Bye.